Hey guys, it's me, Gabe El Taib. I'm gonna do some inking tonight on the Nosferatu piece I'm doing for Narwhal. I'm gonna change my microphone to the built-in one on the Mac since it's next to my drawing desk. Because this other one, the Elgato one I'm sitting into now, it's across the two desks I have. One's a computer and one's a Mac. So here we go. And then I got to get over there and turn the volume off on my iPhone that's on my channel. Yes, I'm speaking out on my own video, making money out of my own pocket. I don't have my phone right here. I'm right here wearing my ladies' night only gloves. And what I'm doing here is something David Williams taught me. I drew this Nosferatu over and over and over on a sheet of paper. I kept flipping it and erasing it and flipping it and erasing it to find balance in the drawing, to make sure we had our anatomy and our proportion and everything correct. And now I'm moved on to the inking stage. And the great thing about this is it's going to save me some time when I'm futzing around with pencils, erasing pencils. I won't have to do that. That is very, very irritating to most people when they're inking. So I have the chat here, and we'll see how this goes. We'll see if this works, because I've been trying to live stream drawing and then be able to talk to you guys. And the problem always was being able to see the chat well. So welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, let me put it. Oh, it is on live chat. And great news, guys! We passed 40,000 and dollars on Truth, Justice, American Way, and we passed. What else did we pass? We passed 600 backers. So I'm so happy. In just over 3 weeks, I don't know exactly how long it is. I think we're going to do our 30-day closeout. I think we're going to do that next Tuesday or Wednesday. I got to get on the Indiegogo website and do some investigating to see when exactly the closeout is. I was thinking of inviting Cecil on. He had me on his channel the second week, and it was fantastic going on his channel. I know he gets a little naughty for my taste, but I thought he was so respectful of me, and I think the guy likes me a lot, and I really like him. I see him retweet my campaigns and stuff, and I think he's such a brilliant improv comic. And I told him that a long time ago. I'm not telling him that to kiss his butt to have him help me out, but I was thinking of him. I don't know what you guys think. You can let me know what you think of that, but yeah, here we go. So I'm using this is this is a DC Comics board. I have hundreds of pages of this stuff, and these are Pigma Micron, and these are my ladies' night only sexy gloves. The lighting isn't great. Here, let me turn the lighting on in here. I have the lighting low because I'm tracing my own work, but here I'll turn on some overhead lights so you can see. See, right here is that nice DC Comics Vertigo logo. I have a ton of this paper. Can you see that? So DC Comics is involved with Comicsgate, contrary to popular belief. Yeah, so I'm trying to get this woolly texture in here. American Comics Company is here. Jay Lee is here. Is that Klaus Schwab? This is his brother, Hans Schwab. So yes, very good guess there, TC. TC was asking if this is Klaus Schwab. I like that Klaus Schwab has is it the temerity? No. He has the dignity to dress like a cartoon villain if he's going to act like one. So, hell, Gabe, I changed my name to this. Cat Killer Drunk 3PO. Well, there you go. I don't know the origin of that name, but good for you. So it's a Friday night. This is how you get wild when you're 43, guys. This is how it's done. But I just want to thank all of you that have already backed my book with the great David Williams. He came to me with the amazing idea of Truth, Justice, American Way and asked me to write a plot based on it. And he had a loose idea for a plot, and he had the main idea for the three heroes. And he told me to create villains, and my goodness, that was fun creating some villains. So Jay Lee's at work for another 3 hours. Well, you're going to get through it, buddy. Vera Frady is here. Yeah, I see all the great names starting to trickle in, starting to come in and watch. But and it's great that I do have my phone right here so I can see what you guys are seeing. So once I get this tracing done for some of this, and I can go back into some with the regular lights on, you'll probably be able to see them clear. But this is a piece of this is a Nosferatu piece that I'm doing for the Great Narwhal. And I'm using all kinds of tools. I'm using markers. I'm using these big fat markers. I have a Raphael Kowinski sable hair brushes that I use with some nice Higgins ink. It's multimedia, friends. We just do it, guys. We just do it any way we want. It doesn't even matter. No one's in charge here. No one besides me is in charge of this, right? I'm the boss of this drawing. So I'm having a lot of fun. The Nosferatu character has quite the design. I feel like he didn't do good with the ladies, this guy. He was not a handsome fellow. You know what I'm saying? But this little woolly texture, it's a little bit tedious to work on. But when you do stuff like that, you can kind of go into a nice Zen mode too. So that's always fun with those. Always fun to do. But I hope you all had a great week. I can't believe it got to be Friday so quickly. I do feel like this week flew by. And I do feel like campaigning, the first 30 of my book is flying by. You know, again, we're just down to 6 days, I think it told me on Indiegogo. I think 6. This morning it said 7, then around lunch it said 6. So I don't know. Jay Lee, last night I started working on an homage pinup of Jim Lee's X-Men 269 cover using She-Spawn and Lotus in the place of Rogue and Miss Marvel. Kona Blend 36. Hello, fellow humans. Comicsgate is making comics great again, Jay Dredd said. Yes, we is. And it's nothing without you guys. Again, I sent out a huge thank you today because I am super grateful. And I had a great stream today, this afternoon, where I was working on Aaron LaPressy's Wraith of God and just hanging with my people and talking and showing them a great video of me coloring some interesting looking characters from Truth, Justice, American Way was in the background. And guys, we passed $40,000 American, which I'm astonished. That's amazing. I don't think I've made $40,000 in 3 weeks before. So yeah, it was a privilege and a pleasure. I really appreciate you guys jumping in and supporting, throwing a buck in the basket, as they say. It's a little weird. I'm leaning over to my left and looking back to the right, so I'd have my head out of the way of the camera. So I don't do. Is my head popping in there? Let me see. Oh, looks like we froze a little bit. Did we freeze? No, we're good. We're good. I'm looking at my phone to make sure I'm showing you guys what I'm working on. But I'm doing this woolly texture. Yeah, I wish I could zoom it in and have it a little clearer. Let me go futz with the OBS program on my Mac. My Macintosh is right over there, and it's running this. Let me go futz with that and see if I can blow it up some. See if I can blow this up. Okay, so if I grab this little corner, let me shrink that. If I grab this and go like this, well, I'm messing with the aspect ratio. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I think I made it bigger. I don't know if this is going to work. If this sucks, let me know. But I think I made it bigger so you can see it a little more as I work. I hope that works. I hope that works for y'all. Where'd that pen go? Where'd my pen go? I remember I had an Ocho. Oh, here's the Ocho right here. I wish these microns, they all look the same, right? They're all brown, and they're all kinds of different sizes. And they just write the number on them real dinky. You know what I mean? I wish they had giant numbers on them so you would know which one you're grabbing these instead of having to examine them every time. Let me check on the chat here. BC, aka the new Dark Shadow. Oh, sweet. Cat Killer Drunk 3 Beer. We have to keep fighting the mainstream comic book companies. Jay Lee, yes, 100% would agree with our fans. Our books go nowhere. So thanks, everyone. Yes. And check out Jay Lee. Jay, throw in a link to the Steins. He has some great, I'm working on Nosferatu right here. Jay Lee has some great vampire fiction that's like epic saga. It's like Game of Thrones. I'm not saying it's like medieval kings and queens, but it spans families and generations. And yeah, Jay Lee is on Amazon. I believe he has an author's page there where you can check out the Steins. And I did some cover colors for him, or pinup colors. I'm not sure what he's going to do with those images exactly. But Jay Lee's one of our mods. He's in the chat right now. So yeah, Jay, feel free to show off the Steins. I'd love people to check that out. Who doesn't love vampires, right? What a horrible, confusing, tragic story vampires are. I like really giving this jacket a really woolly texture. It was just a decision I made. I thought it was going to be like seersucker or something, the texture. And then I was like, let's go all the way with this. Let's make this thing Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? Right? So I'm making this thing fuzzy. Redacted Computer. Oh, hello from this afternoon. Is Nosferatu going to be voiced by Mel Brooks of Spaceballs fame? I hope so. Absolutely. Whenever I say absolutely to you guys, I always want to say it in French for some reason. And I don't even know if the way I say it in French is correct. I took 3 years of French about 30 years ago, like 25 years ago. So I can bullshit. Now, here's a little secret, guys. I don't actually know much French, but I memorized a few sentences. So it sounds like I speak French. And I can do the accent really good because I grew up around a lot of Spanish speakers. And there are similar phonics. They're not the same, but they're similar phonics. They're all Romance languages, right, based on Latin. So in French, I always tell people, je parle français, j'étudie français pour 3 ans quand je vais à l'école. That means I speak French. I studied French for 3 years when I went to high school, right? Here's the secret, guys. That's pretty much the extent of my Frenchy knowledge of like being able to say a sentence smoothly. And I say that all the time to trick people that I can speak a lot of French. It's a joke to myself that I've been doing for 20 years. I am my own biggest fan when it comes to comedy. I love to tell myself jokes and make myself laugh. I'll have to ask my daughter, someone here to remind me when you see my daughter next week on Father-Daughter Dance, the show that she and I do just about every Thursday. We were playing Barbies in her room. She was, my daughter was 2.5, 3 years old. I was 20 years old. Do the math. I had her at 18. I know, that makes me Mexican. And I had some brunette, I was playing Ken, or I was the guy. Ken, Kyle, well, I don't give a shit what this guy's name is. And she was Barbie, and there was a couple Barbies, and there's that brunette Barbie, and there's the blonde Barbie, I don't know what it is. And my daughter had the blonde Barbie, and I saw the brunette one, and I told her Barbie, thinking my 2.5-year-old daughter wouldn't understand the concept, just to tell myself a joke. I said to her Barbie was my Ken guy. I'm tired of you. I'm going with this other Barbie, and ran my guy over to her to like kiss that other Barbie. She started screaming and crying, my daughter. So I guess women have that inherently built in. They understand that. The other woman. So, Cat Killer Drunk 3PO. I know some French. The redacted computer. Wait, you have a big fan. Is this oscillating or stationary? Both. I have both kinds. Both kinds, friend. Sexy bearded Viking wizard, the badass Aussie. It's a very specific name. Went to see screening of Nosferatu a few months ago that had a live band improvising a soundtrack for the film. It was an awesome evening's entertainment. I bet. I have to admit, I've never seen Nosferatu. I've never seen it. I've seen clips of it. I know what it is. It's not a rip-off. It's an interpretation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think it's like the first major like copyright lawsuit for entertainment is what I've heard people say. Don't know if that's true, but I've heard it and I want to believe it. So I believe it. Yeah. So anyway, we're just like putting in this woolly texture. I just have one of those natural improv brains. When I say one word, I think of 8 other things that also have that word. I'm like, woolly texture. And then in my head, literally, I heard the music, woolly, 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 woolly. I'm saying it like Adam Sandler for some reason. I don't know. It's a little Robin Williams-y of me for some reason. You guys like the slow jam music that I picked here on StreamYard to play in the background. We take you away on a Friday night. What about those dedications you'd hear on the radio? I remember hearing those like in middle school for the first time. I thought they were weird to be like, this next song goes out to Sheila. And it's from Carlos. And he says, baby, I love you. I want you back. I never meant to hurt you. I promise. I thought your sister was you. Okay, I added that last part. But still. Those dedications on the radio. Good luck, guys. Probably not going to work. Let's see. Jay Lee says it's a really good movie. I have a digital copy. I think he's talking about Nosferatu. And I'll take your word for it. I do need to check it out. It's probably like free on YouTube, right? I'm sure it just exists up there. I'm gonna get out the big marker, guys. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get out the giant honking marker here in a second to fill in some of the black. But first, I want to make sure I get some of these nice woolly textures. Nosferatu the movie would be better if it was just sound effects and natural sounds instead of vocals or music playing. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to burp on stream. How rude. Forgive me. I'm being serious. I didn't mean to burp. I had a big, nice dinner with my wife. Instead of music, vocals or music playing throughout the movie, Redacted Computer says, yeah, I agree. I need to see it to know if you're right, but I agree in spirit with that. That sounds cool. Sounds awesome. The Sherpy 44 Magnum. What are we talking about? Jay Lee, yes, it was the first case of copyright to go to court, and the Stoker family won. And due to the fact that the company that made the movie was broke, the order was to destroy all copies, but one survived. That's so beautifully poetic. You know what I mean? I side with the Stoker family. It's their property, whatever. But it is good for posterity. It is good for American culture. Not American. This was this German surrealism, right? This film? I believe it was. It's good for Western culture that a copy of it survived because it's so iconic. the look of Count Orlok. It's insanely good. Considering it's 100 years old, that's some great makeup, some great theater makeup. And yeah, I think this and what are some other ones that are that weird German stuff, like the Cabinet of Dr. Cagliari or something like that. I've heard of that one. So what I'm going to do here is have like a blackish shape coming up, but then we'll get into grays up here. That there's a lot of work, this thing. The way I've designed the drawing is a lot of work. So let's see. Redacted computer. It's a wide, thick Sharpie marker with a broad tip, and the chemical ink smoke gets people high. Well, what I have here is a permopaque, like opaque pigment marker from Sakura. Sakura makes the amazing Pigma microns. They make the amazing Sumo grip polymer erasers. This is it here out of the sheath. They make a lot of products I use, and I got into the microns in college because my drawing teacher, who, when she was a girl in the 50s, her backyard opened up to the Warner Brothers lot in Hollywood. So she would talk to the 50s movie stars when she was a little girl. I remember her telling me that. What was her name? I think it was like Mrs. Green or something like that. She was a drawing teacher at the University of Northern Colorado in the early 2000s when I was there. And she introduced me to the Pigma microns. I think they're fantastic. I think the Copic pens are good. They're probably better, but I'm a very, very big, strong man, and I mangle the Copic fine liners, or whatever those silver ones Ethan uses. I don't have toe thumbs, and I crush those Copics, and they're like $15 a piece, those pens. And you can replace the nibs, but the nibs are, $2, $3, $4 a nib. The nib is the tip of a pen, for those of you that don't know. And it's just a pain in the ass to replace the nibs. So I go with microns. The Copics are probably a little bit better quality, but again, I can't handle the Copics. I just smash the crap out of them. I don't know why. I'm just too much man for them, baby. You want to know how I got these scars? I'm the Joker, baby. I like that meme. If you haven't seen it, find it and you will laugh. My daughter is putting together an amazing new intro for this channel. It is so funny. It has all of our favorite great moments. Ooh, this marker looks like he's not doing good on his ink supply. I'm seeing some smudgy. Is he running out of ink? Don't you quit on me! Don't you quit on me! This is like the scene in the movie. I'm giving the marker CPR. Don't you quit on me. Oh, there you go, baby. Nice and juicy. I love art tools. Not like a fetish, but like I love buying art supplies. Like on Amazon, it's so great. I know I should support the local Dick Blick or whatever, but I love getting art supplies in the mail. Right below me here on this desk, there's all kinds of pens and pencils and rulers and X-Acto knives, and I just love having all the tools. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's check on the chat here. Oh. Okay, and it is on YouTube due to now open to everyone. Oh, you're talking about Nosferatu. It's on YouTube, I'm sure it is. What if Joker drank super hot Bustelo coffee and he burned the insides of his cheeks or his mouth, which caused those scars later? That's entirely plausible, and it would be more interesting than most of the stuff DC Comics is doing right now. Oh, I said it. Oh no, this marker, no. You feel, okay, I think one of the chiseled edges is no good on this marker. Yeah, when I turn it up on the front face of it, it's real weak on the ink, but when I put it on the broad flat bottom, it's nice and juicy. Nice and juicy. I like them real thick and juicy. So give me that, what's he say? Give me that bubble, mix a lots in trouble, hoping for a piece of that double. I don't know, it's Baby Got Back. I love and hate that song. I like it because it's so silly it shouldn't exist. It's a song about butts. He's dancing on a giant butt in the video. It's just like, are you kidding me? This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. The thing I hate about that song, though, is if you were at the club or the bar with your friends, and that song starts, and we all know that. We all know that bass line. But Baby Got Back. We all know it when it comes on. All the women in the bar just start jiggling and giggling and start dancing. And I do want to tell them, most of them, this song is not about you. The song is not for you. The song is for the honeys. The song is for the hotties. The song is for the good-looking gals. I just want to go and tap them on the shoulder and like, you know that thing in the 50s where they'd have like a dance contest and people had to dance for like 48 hours straight? And if they were like, falling asleep, the judge would tap them on the shoulder and like, you're out. I feel like when Sir Mix-a-Lot comes on, I should be allowed to go. And now I don't go to bars and clubs, but maybe I should just for this reason. You know what I'm going to do next Friday? I'm going to go to a bar. I'm going to go up to the DJ, give him $20, I guess. With Biden inflation, it'll have to be 20. Give the DJ 20 and say, baby got play, baby got back. Once it starts rolling, that song, I'm going to go around the dance floor and tap women out, you know? You guys didn't know I was like this. You didn't know I was a complete wild man when it comes to that song. Well, I am. Get over it. Let's see. Cat Keller Drum 3BO. I am still here. Good. Good. The Redacted Computer. The sequel to that song, Baby Received Forward. Possibly. Cat Keller Drum 3BO. I did make some leftist comic book shop owner mad just by mentioning Ethan Van Sciver, so my night has been productive. Good work. Redacted Computer. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Is his brother Lord Blend too much? That's actually his half brother, and his real name is Raoul. But yes, you're right. It's Lord Blend too much. Yes, Sir Mix-a-Lot and Lord Blend too much. They come from the Bremberton family of mixologists. They do mix a lot. He's got a half brother. It's his kid mix a little. Doesn't mix a lot. He mix a little. What is Sir Mix-a-Lot mixing? What in the hell is he mixing? Pain with pleasure, business with pleasure. You know what he's mixing? He's mixing up the minds of a bunch of unattractive women that think that song is about them or for them. That's what he's mixing. And I'm here to put a stop to it. We need to do a GoFundMe, a Kickstarter perhaps, for Sir Mix-a-Lot to be stopped from performing that song for unattractive women. You didn't know. I called this stream Ladies Night. You didn't know what kind of Ladies Night this was. Guys, this is Ladies Misogyny Night. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's why we're here. I told you guys that in the newsletter. Remember at our meeting? I told you guys that. So, yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Jado, milk and chocolate syrup. Don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Taking a break from art lessons, Luna Comics says. Well, get back to it sooner rather than later, buddy. The Redacted Computer. Then Nicki Minaj took the beats to that song and made another rendition of that song. Well, where do you guys come down on Nicki Minaj? I say not hot. I argued with my friend Ari, up and down, and we argued for like a good 40 minutes. A ridiculous argument. We argued that if she was hot or not. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? And he thinks she's so gorgeous. And I'm just like, nah, son. Nah, I don't think so. But if you guys think so, that's cool, I guess, I won't get in your way. I think it's very woolly, this coat. Is it true not to draw with your wrist, but to do it with your elbow or shoulder, Luna Comics asks? You're overthinking it. The drawing, Luna, will tell you what it needs. There's no quick fix and there's no quick answers. Everything, hold on, I dropped the cap to my pen on the floor. Everything is repetition, repetition, repetition. I could tell you how I do this. We could all tell you, oh, I do this and I do that. Doesn't matter. You won't know till you do it. You feel me? So you listen to us, art experts, whoever we are, people who know what the hell we're doing. You listen to us, but then you go and try it. And that's actually where you're going to learn. You're not going to learn just from me telling you. So drawing from your, I'm drawing from my fingertips right now. You know what I mean? And if you draw from the bigger and bigger bones and muscles as you go up your arm, sure, you're going to get smoother lines, but is that what you need at this point? Sometimes you really need to lean on those fine motor skills of your fingertips to get something accomplished. It's tiny, So it's so the answer to that is yes. You do draw from your wrist and your shoulder and your elbow, but you also draw from the different joints in your fingers. The drawing will tell you. And the only way you're going to learn that is through repetition, repetition, repetition. You feel me? Yeah, the drawing is always going to tell you what it needs. And any of you, this stuff is easy if you just do a ton of repetition. Everything in life is easy if you just do a ton of repetition. How do you think anyone gets good at anything? You know, I always tell people, it makes them laugh, but I could give it crap. I'm trying to clean up the language. I don't care if people laugh at this and think it's ridiculous. I'm 43. I could be in the NBA in 5 or 7 years. At age 50, I could get there if I dedicated myself 40 to 60 hours a week of shooting jump shots. And I got to the point where I couldn't miss and I was world-class or above skill. Of course I could make a team and they'd put me in as a specialist shooter. You know what I mean? And all of you could do it too. Everything is just about repetition. There's no, LeBron James' uncle doesn't own the NBA and like let him play. That's not what's going on there. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, it helps that he's tall, blah, blah, blah. But do you know how many people are as tall as LeBron James and are not in the NBA? Almost all of them. So don't just say it's because he's tall, because if that's all it was, then every 6'8" dude would be there. Almost all of the tall people in the world never make it to the NBA. I want you to really think about that for a minute. Really think about that. Let's see. Lunar Comics does feel me when I said, do you feel me? Julie Pascal, I have located and spent 2 days figuring out how to use the lasso and gradient tool. Thanks, you. Oh, goody. Watch my videos where I'm breaking down the color, or where the colors are playing in the background while I'm talking, and you'll see the cut and grab. It's such an efficient way to color comics. I'm gonna have to get out a pencil here to figure out what I'm doing with the big shapes. Because what I've got to do is I've got to have some light hit him on the chest. So let me turn on some real lights, and then let me turn off the trace light. So what I've got to figure out here is this light is coming in here, and it is going to light up part of his chest, but we're going to have it mostly be black coming up, and then fade it with this woolly texture. So I think we're going to, let's see. I think we're going to come in here. Yeah. Okay, I think that'll come up there. Then that'll be black again. Okay, so X. And then this will come up this way. And that'll meet that there. And we'll make that huge, that one. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll drift it over here. And then drift you down there. And all these giant shapes are going to end up, they're going to end up with a bunch of black on them, you know, or a woolly texture on the edge of these blacks. So let's see. Okay, so that should come up there. Then let me turn on my trace so I can see what I laid out in here again. Yeah, and here's the thing about performance, guys. I was a big influence on my life was football. I've told you this. I play a lot of football. I coach a lot of football. I say that over and over for a reason. So stick in your heads, okay? And I remember Coach would yell at us when we would have a bad practice, and he would point out to us, he says, you're going to play the way you practice. And I was reading another book by Chris Voss. Look up Chris Voss. You'll like him. I'm not going to go into detail on who he is. He says there's no such thing as rising to the occasion. That's not a thing. What you will do in life is you will fall to your highest level of preparation. Does that make sense? Think about that for a minute. There is no rising to the occasion. You're not going to, when you need to lift a truck over your head, you're not going to suddenly be able to. You either could do it before you needed to, or you can't do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, hold on. Sorry, I'm just dumbing in these shapes. I think this might be good for now. A little zap there. Oh, I like that. Right? Is that good? Is that following the rules of fabric folds? I think it is. Here's another Pentel eraser. I love Pentel products. They make great products. Today's show is brought to you by Pentel. Pentel, when you really, really give a damn. I'm sorry. I'm my #1 fan. I love telling jokes to myself. It is something I have always done. Let's see. That is looking very good. Thank you. And for those who come in late, DC Comics had the courtesy to be involved with this project by giving me hundreds and hundreds of pages. Do you see that? I'm tickled pink by that. I think that's very fun. I'm gonna use my brush to fill these shapes in. Here we go, a little Higgins Black Magic and a $50 make you holler artist watercolor. I don't drink alcohol, guys, but I said it like that anyway. Artist watercolor sable. Oh, and by the way, you're welcome for these gorgeous ladies' night gloves I'm wearing. These gloves are like help you not smudge. So I'm gonna just go in, guys. I'm just going in. I'm not even doing anything. I'm just gonna dip and rip. Dip in the brush, and then I'm just going in to fill in these giant shapes. There's bubbles in there. I'm gonna pop these bubbles. Let's see. So you get the brush. Here's how I ink it, okay? I get the, and this is probably, don't show Gary Martin this. I'll probably have kittens because he's the pro inker. Then I need a piece of trash paper. Okay, so here's a piece of scrap paper, and I'll just use it to wipe my brush on a little bit. I'll set that off to the side. And then I'm just gonna go in and fill in these giant shapes, and then I'm gonna add the I'll add the woolly texture after, okay? So this stuff, I can be loose, I can be fast, and remember, this whole thing is wool, so I don't have to worry too much about getting 100% coverage, because at the end of this, I'm gonna go back with some white paint and paint out some white flecks in here. Because again, this wool has a fuzzy texture. So absolutely. And then I feel like these buckles, they're thick wool straps, right? Is that what's here? I believe it is. Ooh, heartburn just hit me for a second. I had a mulita and a burrito, and then some Indian food at dinner. I tried 3 different things. A mulita is like, I don't know, everything at the Mexican restaurant's basically the same, right? Tortillas, meat, cheese, salsa, lettuce, tomato. Mulita is like 2 corn tortillas with a little bit of melted cheese and some meat in there. So sounds like a taco, sounds like a burrito, sounds like a lot of the other stuff, right? So we'll just splooch in the texture here to keep, we want to keep our border between the wrist and the heavy inks we're putting in here. We want to make sure that exists, right? So we want to bloop it in. Bloop is the technical term. They'll teach you that if you get you don't learn that in your bachelor's when you go to art school. You only learn that when you get your MFA. It's blooping. And that was Professor Cosby that taught us about blooping and blopping. Sorry guys, it's Friday night and I've been campaigning like a mofo. So, oh, that's fun. That is coming out like wool. Cool. Let's see. One last question. Is there a wrong way to practice? Yes, there is. If you think you can redefine the science of optics, the science of light and color, and how the human brain is relativistic when it's understanding shapes and all that, and you think you're going to just ignore the jillions of years of art that Western culture has taught us through trial and error, like I told you, it's all trial and error. If you think you're going to ignore what has already been discovered, you're silly. Take what's already been discovered, practice it yourself, because it isn't real until you practice it. You read all the books, you can listen to me jibber jabber on here all you want, but until Luna puts the pencil down, it's not real. You have to practice thousands and thousands of hours. But if you don't want to practice fundamentals, you're going to teach yourself some horrible habits, and then you're going to have to break them later. The worst thing a comic book artist can do is learn to draw comics solely by looking at comics. Yes, look at comics. Yes, trace your favorite artist. Absolutely, 1000% that's going to make you good. But yes, go to a real life drawing class at the junior college if you can't afford to go to university, or find an atelier in some big cities. You'll have an atelier where you literally pay money to drop in for the night and draw a nude model. There's nothing that's going to teach you more than real life drawing of a nude model in front of you. Drawing from nude photos or bodybuilding photos doesn't work as well because you're not seeing in 3D. The photo itself is 2-dimensional. You can't see around where that ankle bone is tucking into the calf. You can't see around where that pec muscle is disappearing into the armpit. You can't see those things in a photo and move it, right? The photo is just like a drawing. It's like copying a 2D drawing. So looking at photos is good. Okay, looking at comics is good. Looking at real life photos is better. Real life drawing, if you can afford it or find it or whatever, is best. You need that. You need it. Okay? Well, good night, brother. Hope the stream goes well. I wish I could be here more often. Wish. Cat Killer Drunk 3PO. Peace out. Yeah, and for those of you that haven't checked out Truth Versus Miracle Life, Please do. We crossed 40,000. We crossed 600 customers today. It was astonishingly. It felt very good. It felt very rewarding. I don't put the rule in there. We're not there yet, Gabe. Goodness gracious me. We can have that a little bit more. That's fine. I do have to remember the triangle, so because I'm wanting to go fast to like show off for you guys, and then you make a poopy mess if you do that, and I don't want to do that. But we're building a wool texture. Why did I decide that this was wool instead of just like solid black shapes? I could have done it. Nobody would have cared. That's the thing, when you're the boss and you decide something really, really time consuming, you question yourself later. You're like, I'm the one that gave me this assignment. Why did I do that to myself? That's cool. I think about that when I'm writing Truth, Justice, American Way. I'm never going to write like, at the halftime show at the Super Bowl, there's a crowd of 80,000, and an alien army opens a portal at the 50-yard line, and 1,000 insect alien warriors stream out onto the field, killing the offensive and defensive linemen. Truth, Justice, American Way, leap into action. I'm never going to write something stupid like that, because then I'm going to have to color it after Dave draws it. And if Dave has to draw something like that after I write it, he's going to be really mad at me. So, get ready for Truth, Justice, American Way to battle everyone in the darkness of space with no backgrounds. Kidding. That is a comic book artist's dream, though. I used to tell Peter Tomasi, he was writing Green Lantern Corps and Green Lantern Emerald Warriors when back in 2011, I think, and I was the colorist on it. I told him we should do an issue that's all in space. And Guy Gardner gets lost, and he just has to find his way home. So it would just be a bunch of panels of Guy Gardner floating around, flying in different directions, and I could just do some star and nebula textures, which are very easy to do quickly in Photoshop, and that would be the whole issue. They never went for my idea, guys. They never went for my idea on the empty background Green Lantern book. So sorry. This is fun. Little comments. He's practicing his brain to be artistic and less technical, because when you're technical, you expect a quick answer and instant results. So I'm trying to shake that up. Yeah, quick answers. We all want them. It's very immature. I'm not calling you immature. I'm saying all of us. That's a very immature, natural thing we all have. We want answers. We want to put it in the microwave and know the answer 30 seconds later. And that just isn't how anything works. When you look at the masters of Sienkiewicz, Steranko, and Dave Stevens, rest in peace. You look at the Arthur Adams. You look at these guys, these true masters. Bernie Wrightson. You're just looking at years of their lives devoted to getting good at their craft. When you look at me, I know I'm one of the best colorists in this entire business. And I'm a pretty dang good illustrator too. And I've been doing this since I was 3 years old, guys. I'm 43 now. I think 3 years old, maybe before. Those are my earliest memories of drawing at 3 years old in the back of my grandparents' Mexican restaurant. So you're like, oh, it's like, as an artist, for those of you out in the audience that are artists, it's very insulting when people just tell you that you're talented. I know they're trying to compliment you, but you're like, do you know what I've been through? Like, I understand I'm talented. I understand that God gave me talent. I get it. I think and see artistically. I get that, and I appreciate God's blessing. But to diminish someone's hard work, it's very insulting. And here's an easy way to understand if you're not an artist and you insist that there's just talent going on. You could have the world's greatest lawyer, right? Alan Dershowitz or someone, right? Famous lawyer. Would you say, oh, he was always talented at law? I remember him reciting constitutional law in his crib at age 2. It's like, no, maybe he had a great analytical brain, great at rhetorical arguments. Those are all things he might have been talented at, but he wouldn't be a lawyer if he didn't go study and then go do law cases, right? And again, it's like that basketball thing I was telling you guys. You're not going to be any good at it no matter how tall you are. You can be 9 feet tall. You won't be any good unless you practice. So talent isn't everything. Okay, I don't like the way this shape is going here. I have to taper that. Baby. This is fun though. So when you get into these heavy textures like this, it's a little bit zen. You know what I mean? You get to really relax. It reminds me of when I was in college and I would do pottery. Because you have to take all the different disciplines to graduate. At most art programs, you have to do all kinds of different things to graduate. Photography, pottery, like just all kinds of crap. And I remember how relaxing ceramics was. It was truly relaxing. Let's see. AR says, what up, everyone? Oh, we just having ladies' night. That's all. I say ladies' night to trick all the guys that are coming into my channel. Are there girls in there? Yep, lots of girls, but you got to come in first and hit the like button. You can't see the girls until you hit the like button, and you click on the link and go check out my book for sale on Indiegogo. That's the scam, right? With ladies' night, we're trying to get guys in there. And even though we know it's a scam, see, I don't go to the bars or the clubs. You know, I'm married many years. But even though we know it's a scam as dudes, we still fall for it because we're all like, yeah, but what if the place is packed with babes? And then inevitably, to make up a word, inevitably, it isn't. Inevitably, it's just you, your buddies, standing around holding a few overpriced beers. I don't drink, though. I don't drink alcohol, but I know other people do. and I'm not being that guy like, oh, I don't watch TV, I'm better than you. I don't drink, I'm better than you. I'm not being that guy. Personal choice. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown-ass man. And I don't drink. I don't like it. Me no like it. So, yeah, I really love this woolly texture that's coming up. Angela Curry, hello. Jeremy Burtz, hello. Brian, suddenly old. No, Brian, suddenly old. Where are the ladies at? I think Angela's the only one here. Remember on Sesame Street when Animal would get all amorous? And he'd be like, woman. I wonder what it's like to be a woman and you're like the only one there. There was an episode of Seinfeld like that where like Jerry and Kramer and George were all coming onto Elaine at once. Seems terrifying. I ain't a Goyle, so I'll never know what that's like. I feel like being hit on as a woman must be like people trying to sell you Tupperware or something. You know, eventually it's just like, they're just bothering because that's how men are. We bother the ladies, and not in a bad way, but you know what I mean. And it's just like someone trying to sell you siding or sell you Tupperware. I'm nice to people when they call me. I try not to answer. But when I get fooled and I answer for the telemarketer, I'm not mean to them. It's just someone trying to pay their mortgage. I get it. I'm not going to be a jerk to those people. They're doing what they can to pay their bills. You think they like calling up and being told no? So I would tell them, oh, you know, I'm busy right now. I'm not interested. And I give them about 3. And if they don't let me go, then okay, I got to go, bye. But I don't like yell at them or cuss or hang up on them. But I do just try to talk that way off the phone usually. I think my wife is back from the store. I hope she's not mad that I'm having ladies' night and I didn't invite her. I guess every night is ladies' night when you have a wife. Let's see. Angela Curry, love this. Yeah, this is for the great what's his name? The great what's his name? Gosh damn it, Gabe. This is for Narwhal, your supposed friend. What's his name? Don't tell him I said that. I like Narwhal. It's a cool dude. He's a handsome guy, too. He looks like that awesome comedian, Owen Benjamin. That's who he looks like to me. If you don't know who Owen Benjamin is, he's been banned on every platform because he tells a little bit too much of the truth. Well, I don't know. I think he always finds the rules on every platform and just breaks them. But I think that's comedians, right? Comedians are supposed to live dangerously. They're supposed to tell the ugly truth. And I think Owen Benjamin is hilarious. And I always follow him on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere, but he keeps getting banned. My son seems to be able to find him and say, oh, he told me Owen Benjamin's on TikTok, I guess. They won't ban him from there. But I guess it's not SJW run by Americans, TikTok, right? It's run by the Chi-Coms, as Uncle Billy Tucci likes to call them. The Chi-Coms. Those were our friends in China. Oh, Shant is here. Hey, Shant. I think Shant had, whenever Nosferatu is being drawn or talked about, Shant, a mental, energy wave goes out and tells Shant he needs to, he's like, it's like Obi-Wan when Alderaan blew up. Shant just knows when this kind of thing is happening. Yeah, Shant is a buddy. And Shant, drop a link in the chat for Nosferatu. If you like Nosferatu, if you just like Nosferatu, then you will love Nosferatu. It is Shantan Jetty's fully painted, amazing comic book. What a guy. Walked away from 18 years in academia at RISD, some of the finest art schools. This guy's a master illustrator, Shant, for those of you that don't know him. He and I host a show every Wednesday night called Double Impact, where we go over our favorite 80s and 90s action movies. We did Showdown in Little Tokyo this week, and that might be the quintessential one. Even though Van Damme is my favorite guy, I think Showdown in Little Tokyo is the quintessential 90s action movie. It's amazing. It's got Brandon Lee. It's got Dolph Lundgren. It's got Tia Carrere. It is amazing. So, Shantz, please put Nosferatu in the chat so people can go and buy Shantz's book because it's amazing. And he's just such a great artist. And he's a salt of the earth, amazing dude. And I need more people to know who he is. And I need you to sub to his channel. Shantz, will you put a link to your channel in the chat? If you love what I'm doing, you'll like what Shantz is doing. You know what I'm saying? I am more handsome. I am wittier. I am funnier. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing up. But no, if you love what I'm up to and you love what I'm all about, you will love my brother from another mother, Shanthan Jetty. You will love him. You will love him and pet him and take him home and name him George. On a stream of consciousness, guys. On a stream of consciousness going on. This is really, really fun, this woolly texture here. My goodness. I thought this was going to be so horrible and tedious. Let's see. Adam Miller, love Shant's art. Shanthan Jetty, thanks, brother. Oh, he put his link in there. Please sub to his channel. And he does great late night stuff. Even though he's on the East Coast, he's up later than me, and I'm on the Best Coast. I'm here on the West Coast, the Best Coast. And yeah, that guy, he can stay up all night. That's what she said. Oh, I got PG-13. Hey, it's Friday. You got to give me a break. It is Friday. We got a little PG-13 there. We don't go hard R here. We don't do that. I don't know. Of course, when I'm alone with my brother and my guy friends I grew up on the street with from the old neighborhood, of course, we get body. We get naughty. We get body. Of course, I just have like a deal with that in public. To me, that's just not my style. I don't judge those that do. But it just ain't my style, you know what I mean? It's just not something like it. So, but I like I'll be honest, I like a good dirty joke, but it's got to just be with my brother and my best friends and stuff like that. In private, not being filmed and broadcast to all of YouTube. Absolutely. Your inking is sick, Gabe. Love it. Danka Sean, my friend. Your painting is amazing. Comics are booming. My daughter Minnie is putting together an amazing intro for my channel. And it's got so many funny memes in it. It's making me LOL really hard. My daughter, for those of you that don't know, the great Minnie, I'll tell you. She, like Sean, hosts a show with me once a week on like Thursdays called Father-Daughter Dance. And she's only 25, turned 25 last week, actually. We took her to Vegas. We had a great time filming there. And, golly, I love Las Vegas. I got to go back. I was just in Las Vegas days ago, and I want to go back. I want to be there all the time. I got to buy a place up there. That's what I need to do. It's only 4 hours from my house, maybe 5 if there's traffic. My daughter is a stand-up comic, and she's been one since she was 16. And she's killing. She got the host this week. And the host, that's like the big job at the comedy club. You get to bring up all the other comedians. You get to tell jokes too, but you bring up and introduce the other comedians and stuff. So, yeah, I'm really proud of her. And then she's auditioning for a spot in Huntington Beach. There's a club up there that's thinking of having her do a regular Saturday night spot. So she's going to go audition there. And it's just, everything's coming up Millhouse. She's killing it. She's killing it. And you can see where she gets her comedy from me. Come on. I'm a brilliant comedian. Actually, that's how I started off. I went up to Frank Cho at Comic-Con in the year 2000. And I loved his work at Image Comics. It was Liberty Meadows. He was doing it at Image. And it was reprints, I think, of a lot of his work in college. And I asked him, how did you get into comics? Because he was starting to blow up in 2000. I think he was going to start doing stuff at Marvel, or maybe he had just started. I said, how did you get into comics professionally? I love his work. And he told me that he started doing the comic strips, like Dilbert Garfield. He started doing Liberty Meadows, which was called University Squared, at the University of Maryland. So he advised me to do the same. So that was July. San Diego Comic-Con's always in July. So I went back to the University of Northern Colorado in August, walked into the UNC Mirror, that's the University of Northern Colorado newspaper, and I told Dave Stevens, who's a friend of mine, classmate, he was the editor, I said, your comics aren't funny and they're poorly drawn, and I showed him a big picture of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman that I had done. And he hired me on the spot. And all I did after that was win dozens of awards, including first place for Columbia University 2004. So I'm actually a funny guy. My daughter gets it from me. And I'm so proud of her. I can't believe, I can believe how good she's doing at this. She has it. I went and saw her on February 27th at a big show, stand-up show. And I'm like, she's a professional comedian, my daughter. She got out of it for like 2-3 years. She got discouraged. She started doing other jobs, phlebotomy, like taking people's blood. And she had everyone who she took their blood, she did have their permission. But yeah, she tried all kinds of different things. And then she had a horrible breakup in November, this turd she was dating. By the way, when your dad is 6'4" and he's all of 280 pounds of muscle like I am, don't date turd guys. You're putting them in what is YouTube. So I would have to say not actual physical danger. I would never threaten anyone. I would give someone stern legal talking to. But I'm big and scary, so they wouldn't like it. But so after this horrible breakup with this turd of a human being, if you knew what I knew about this turd, you would call him turd. I like turd. It's a disgusting word. I don't like talking about poop. It really upsets me. Well, it doesn't upset me. It grosses me out. It's like cringy. It's embarrassing to say these words. The guy's a turd, and it inspired her to start writing. Kind of like Alanis Morissette wrote Jagged Little Pill about Uncle Joey. It inspired my daughter to start writing comedy again and performing. And she's just destroying. And this poor fellow, Mr. Turd, and he's a junior actually. There's a turd senior and a turd junior. Mr. Turd, he gets taken out to the woodshed in her act. Oh, he messed with the wrong girl. He messed with that. He didn't know the L-tapes were funny. Yep. He found out the hard way, guys. So let me change gears here. Let me grind gears. Remember learning to drive a stick, guys? You're just like, like killing the car. I'm going to change gears for just 1 second. Proud of my daughter. Love my wife. Love my son. Great family. What an amazing blessing they are. If you're not married and you don't have kids, do it now. I recommend it highly. It's the most fulfilling thing in the universe. It is truly our purpose. Go get you a husband or wife and go get you some kids. And I don't care if you're broke. You'll figure it out. You'll be fine. These people being afraid to get married because they don't have $1 million. And that's my advice. To heap a ton of responsibility on you that you might not be ready for. I'm just going to push you in the pool. But let me pitch you on my book really quick. Okay, Truth, Justice, American Way. I'm going to give you the 40 second pitch. Okay, so don't go buy my book right now. If you like this pitch, then click on the link in the chat or click on the link in the description and buy my book. But don't buy it right now. Hold off a second here. Truth, Justice, American Way. They are America's most beloved heroes. Kids everywhere wearing the t-shirt, eating the cereal, playing with the action figure, playing the video game. These guys are on the Tonight Show, all the late night talk shows, making everyone scream and laugh with delight. To say that this is one of the great romances between the public and celebrity, that would be putting it lightly. They are the most beloved heroes in the history of the world. And they've saved the world 1 million times. They're just so awesome. Everyone loves them. One day, the absolute worst happens. Many lives are lost. It's a tragedy. And in the fallout from it, some people in the news start analyzing it. And they're like, hey, did Truth, Justice, and American Way, those 3 heroes you see at the bottom of the screen, by the way, did they do everything they could to save lives? Because it doesn't seem like it. And it really looks like they're just enjoying their celebrity, And they look into their past, and there's been other disasters, other attacks, other horrible events. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. I think these guys are just in love with the press and the celebrity, and they're not doing everything they can to take care of humanity like they swore they would. And we all know how it works, guys, with the news and the fake news and the social media. And there's a firestorm explosion, and everyone turns on them. They go from being the most beloved to pariahs, complete outcasts. The government turns on them. One of their biggest sponsors, the government. The military's after them. Their friends won't talk to them. Their bank accounts are frozen. Their base, everyone knows where their base is because they're so beloved. They have to run. They have to go underground. They have to go into hiding. And they have to rely back on their traditions and who they were, and not their superpowers so much, but on their minds, on everything they think they believe and stand for to solve this mystery. Who did this? Who really did this horrible attack? And why? What are they after? And can they even trust each other when they're looking into this? And they don't have a lot of time, because if they don't figure this out quickly, another disaster is coming, and this time it'll cost millions of lives. So if you like that little synopsis there, I would encourage you to click the link and go buy Truth, Justice, American Way. That is what Volume 1 is all about. That's what it's all about. David Williams and I, the great David Williams, amazing illustrator, He came to me with this idea about these 3 heroes, told me to create some villains and write a little plot for this. And he loved it. He loved what I had started doing. So I was like, hey, let's work together on this. So we're giving you, what did they take from you? Think about every time you see the announcement from these SJW, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and they got a little bit of stuff in there that's not SJW, but so much of the new stuff that they ruin, and the Star Wars stuff and the Lord of the Rings. Think about what they took from you, and especially in comics, because that's our audience here, right? A lot of comic book fans. What they took from you, it isn't right. Well, I'm giving it back to you. I'm giving you back what they took from you. Gorgeous women, they're allowed to be sexy in my comics. Men are allowed to be masculine and brave and powerful. We don't call it toxic. But you know what we don't do? We don't mention feminists or SJWs or leftists or communists. I don't preach to you from the right either in the comic book. Oh, no. You didn't hear it in my story synopsis, did you? I never said anything about the left wing or the right wing. We're not doing that because a lecture from the right wing is horrible and boring too. So everything they've taken from you, it's your G4 TV, your Amazon woke Lord of the Rings, all the crap they've taken from you, woke Star Wars, I'm giving you back what you've always wanted. What you deserve, what belonged to you. These things, yes, they legally belong to the companies, but they belong to you guys, the fans, because you put so much of your time and your money and emotional investment in this stuff. So I am snatching it out of their hands and saying, that is not yours. That belongs to these people now. Give it back. And that's what I'm doing for you. I know. I don't like to call myself a hero either. But, it's pretty heroic what I'm doing. All kidding aside, if you loved that synopsis, go check out the book. We're so happy today. We crossed $40,000. We crossed 600, over 600 people buying the book. So I know there are at least 600 geniuses in comics game. At least. I think I keyed because I love. But if you love that and you want me to give you back what was taken from you, wish granted. Wish granted. Yeah. So that's my pitch on that. Let me check on the chat. This is so much fun putting in this woolly texture. How to draw comics by Dan Wallace. Gabe, what do you bench press? I could do 225, it was close to 20 times or something like that. And I think the bodybuilding.com and the NFL calculator said my max, which I've never tried, would be 347 pound one-time thing. I don't want to do that because I'm 43 years old and I do not want to rip my pec and my armpit. So I bet I could do it, maybe if I really, really limber up, take some pre-workout, get all juiced up, get super hydrated. I'm just I fucked up my knee doing squats being a tough guy 2 years ago. And my knee was not ruptured, the ligaments, but I blew them out pretty good 2 years ago. And I didn't go to the doctor, nothing. I knew it would heal. I knew it was a severe sprain from doing really heavy squats and being a real, real tough guy doing them. And so I don't do dumb shit like that anymore. I don't even barbell bench press anymore. I do everything with dumbbells. And I do lighter weight and I do it to failure. But I'm still jacked, still strong, still very scary to wimps everywhere. So, yeah, but thank you for asking. I love weightlifting. I don't talk about it too much here. I mention it, but I don't go into detail because I don't know how big people are into it around here. I don't want to stereotype nerds and say that they're all a bunch of disgusting fat bodies that hate lifting weights. I would never say things like that. I'm kidding. But I don't know. I feel like when people talk about their weightlifting too much, it could be a little obnoxious. But just so you guys know, it is a passion of mine. I love lifting weights. I love it. So this is so much fun, guys. This is so much fun sculpting this wool. So I'm not even kidding. This is so much fun. Hail and well met by Rock Crin. Good to see you again. No camel noon tonight, so you get busy. Cool. The redacted computer. If it's Las Vegas, which sounds like Lost Vegas, then in the future it will be called Found Vegas. Well, there we go. Believe Doug Menke also lift weights. Yeah, you're not effing kidding. Doug Menke won the Arnold Classic last year. Doug Menke is a serious weightlifter. He won first place for the over 50 or over 52 or whatever. Doug Menke is an absolute badass. Graham Nolan is an absolute badass. But I love to lift. I'm a big man, but it's powerful. I'm not a big fatso. I'm a big, strong guy. And I love it. I really relish in that. I really love it. I've always loved being a big person. Because I always have been. I was always way bigger than everyone my age. Always the tallest kid in school. And I'm 6'4". I'm not extraordinarily tall like an NBA player, but I'm taller. I looked it up. I think I'm taller than 97.5% of the human population. Most people don't get to 6'4". So being tall is something I actually do take pride in it, even though I did nothing to earn it. It's just genetics. But weightlifting, guys, if you don't lift weights, and I'm not a doctor, consult your physician. Do it. I can't do Arnold, but I'm gonna try anyway. I'm not good at Arnold or impersonation yet, but I will be. Do it now. Lift the weights. Do it now. If you don't lift, go lift, damn it. It's so good for your mind. If you're depressed and you can't sleep at night and all that crap that happens to any of us, it can happen to any of us, you'd be amazed what weightlifting and exercise can do for you. You would be amazed. Okay, I think we got a woolly jacket on there. Wow, I thought that was going to take forever. So what I'm doing here is tracing my own work. Let me turn off some of these lights to show you. What I've done is I've drawn it on another sheet of paper many times, and I flip it, and erase it to get some balance. David Williams taught me this. And because I've had this light table for 20 years, but I never used it this way. And David Williams taught me that if you do your entire illustration the way they do with the animation houses where you used to work, where it's flipping and light table, you're able to get your balance so well for your characters, all your anatomy, all the landmarks on the face and the muscles, and this ear's not bigger than that one, or the eyeballs aren't crooked. So I just trace my own drawing, and then I ink it right on a board, so that way I never have to erase pencils. So you see, hold on. So you see the old pencil drawing is underneath. You see? And then I'm gonna trace it up here. So yeah, it's coming out really fun. Let me check on the chat. Light table, does it weigh an ounce? Someone is on the puns tonight. Luna comments, I'm getting a punching bag. Does that work too? It absolutely works. Luna, anything you do that's safe, that's physically safe, and gets your heart rate up, it's gotta be good for you, right? You notice I said safe. All the information you need to lift weights and all that is out there on the internet. Go find it and look at multiple sources, talk to a doctor. If you can afford a trainer, get a trainer. If you've never lifted before in your life, and you need some professional advice so you don't F yourself up, there's a YouTube channel called Athlean X. The host is this Italian guy, Jeff Cavaliere. He has got great advice. He helped me to quit hurting my shoulders bench pressing. And he has amazing workout advice on the physics of the way your muscles and tendons and bones are working so you don't F yourself up lifting weights. Because your best ability, as they say in football, your best ability is availability, right? You want to be able to work out. So if I'm ever going to the gym and I start lifting, I was in Vegas. I'm the kind of guy that goes to the gym when I'm in Vegas at the hotel. And I was doing side shoulder raises. That's when you do exactly what it sounds like. Put your hand on your pocket and lift your hand all the way out to the side. And that works the top of your deltoid, your shoulder muscle. I did it about 5 times and I felt like pinching. And I realized I must have not stretched right or something like that. So I just quit. I quit my workout right there because I'd already done a bunch of stuff. And if anything's ever hurting, I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. That's enough of that. And absolutely look into the science of how your body works and all that. Luna, you do not want to get hurt lifting weights. You could hurt yourself badly. Like seriously end up needing surgery or something like that. So don't. Let's see. Yeah, so this has been coming out nice. Okay, so now we're going to put a little bit of contour lines on these straps. I'm going to make them a little bit wiggly to indicate that they're like made of fabric. If you could see closely, I'm kind of waving the brush a little bit up and down as I go across. Okay. Ever so slightly. Just let the brush wave a little bit and then taper it at the end to make it thicker. Some people make their lines thick to thin. I don't know, man. It's more organic when you do that, but I always go thin to thick. You just have a ton more control. You have a ton more control. And I don't want the lines to look the same. If the lines have the exact same thick to thin and all that, then it's going to look robotic. It'll look like Photoshop. That's the one problem going on in comic art right now. Everybody's using Manga Studio, Clip Studio on the computer. And some guys pull it off and you can't tell. They look like themselves. But there's so many of these young kids in their 20s drawing for Marvel and DC. And it's good drawings, but it all looks the effing same. and they're using the same textures and the same cross-hatching and the same splatters. It looks boring to me. It looks uninspired. Part of the charm of art, man, is your little signature moves that we each come up with as we learn. It's part of the charm of this stuff. And when everyone's just using Clip Studio, it just gets too samey. I think one guy that's a beast, and I think he's using Clip Studio, Paco Medina. But see, he's been drawing comics since the 90s, and I'm almost certain he wasn't using a computer then because nobody did, because it wasn't available. Paco Medina, his freaking digital inks and pencils are amazing. Clayton Henry, his digital work is just breathtaking. But there are a few guys, and I will never name names because that's not professional. It's just too samey. It just a lot of the shit's starting to look the same. We need more, guys. We need more variation. We need more character. I need your work to look like you. You know what I mean? I really love inking. It's so relaxing. So relaxing. So I hope you guys like my pitch for Truth, Justice, American Way. I kind of fumbled out the gate. That's okay, though. That's how you learn. And didn't tell anyone anything. I was like, look at Truth, Justice, American Way. It's gorgeous. And you guys are like, what's it about? And I'm like, it's gorgeous. You guys, yeah, but what's it about? It's like, I'm good at this. You're like, yeah, what's it about? I'm a really good artist. Look at my art. It's good. And I think that discouraged some people from buying. I think so. And that's okay, because I'm the one that needs to sell it. It's not on you guys to buy it. I got to sell it. With Biden inflation, I have to earn every penny from you guys. I can't feel entitled ever. So I think out the gate, I should have said more about it. That's okay. The past is the past. And again, in life, that's how you learn. That's how you learn. It's all A/B testing. So I hope that little pitch I gave on what the story is, I hope that entices you. I've been getting really good feedback on that for about a week. And I have Ethan Van Sciver to thank for that. I was in Vegas last Friday night on his live stream with John and Narwhal and some other dudes. And Ethan, he scolded me. He said, Gabe, you're not telling anyone what this is about, and people want to know. So on the spot, he made me dish. He broke me like an interrogator. He put the light in my face like we're in a police station. And he made me tell you guys what this book was about. And I thank him for that, because sales have jumped a ton this week after he made me talk about it. And he's right. Of course he's right. He's made millions doing this. Of course he knows. So I should have freaking listened to that. I did listen to it. I listened to it the moment he said to do it. I knew he was right. Look at the man. Look at the man. He's made himself $1 billion on his amazing looking frog book. He's something else, the way he pencils and inks, huh? His pencils are so loose and abstract now, and like just in a language he understands. You see these blue lines he does. And then he does these inks that are just like so tight and so precise. And I look at the blue lines, I'm like, how did you get that from that? I pencil much looser than I used to when I was a kid. I think when you're young, you're very insecure about your art, and you're really worried about what everyone's going to think, what everyone's going to say. And you're looking at the table next to you, and that guy's so good at this, that guy's so good at that, and you want to live up to expectation. Like, I have to draw like this guy. And then you get older, and like with most things in life, you just don't even give a shit. It's like women. You know how scary it is to ask women on a date and talk to them when you're young, but you do it anyway, because what are you going to do? Go without women, right? Like, that's not an option. So, but as you get older, you don't care. I think it was golly, that's looking sharp. I think it was the great philosopher Plato said in his older years, it was great to be feared. It was great to be freed from the tyranny and lust. Now, you want to see some BS I'm going to do right now. I don't know what's on Nosferatu's neck. I have no idea if he has a turtleneck on or anything. But his neck is peeking out on my drawing. So I'm going to fill that in with some black, like lines that just taper, because I have no idea what's in. So this is just a little cheapy move to get rid of this negative space. You see, I pull thin to thick. And I can flick thick to thin, but that's like wild. That's like shooting from the hip, I'll check on the chat in a second, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. This is delicate what I'm doing. This is like where they're defusing the bomb in the movie. I don't want to F this up. Okay. So I did that. And then I'm going to do some vertical ones coming up the other side. Shantan Jetty says 40K. Thank you, Sean. You help me, buddy. You're always supporting me. Love Sean. Ragu Overlord. I don't say Ragu. I say Ragu Overlord. I just supported the book. The characters look so cool. I just have A comic book 6 cents and can tell when something will be good. Oh, awesome. Sketch 51. I don't know how EBS does his scribble to inks art. It's crazy. It's repetition. Adam Miller, Gabe, do you think you're still going to do another art contest? I know I'm going to do another one, but I'm going to wait a week or two. We've got many weeks to go on this campaign, guys. I know the first 30 is over. Sean, I got to get with you on closing out my campaign, buddy. Let's have a talk in a few days here, just a private talk. How do I switch from the 30 to the next 30? I don't know where to find that on their website. And then in demand and all that. I opted in demand when I started. But Shant, if you could help me with that later this week, I would sincerely appreciate it. There we go. So we just fudged in the darkness on his neck. I declare that he's wearing a black turtleneck. I'm just doing it, guys. I'm not backing down from it. Julie Pascal, good night, Gabe. Chat, remember to hit the like. Oh, thank you so much. Shant says, sure, he will help me. Thoughts on Riley and Loomis methods? Loomis might be the greatest American illustrator in the history of greatest American illustrators. If you don't know who Andrew Loomis is, please go onto Amazon.com and get Fun with the Pencil, get Drawing the Head and Hands, and get all of Andrew Loomis's amazing, amazing books. He even talks about the business of art. These books are from the 20s or the 30s. And just to show you that I'm the real deal, Holyfield, the fuck is that? That's Andrew Loomis drawing the head and hands. I can read, I promise. So just so you know that I live what I preach, you get in here, you get hold of these Andrew Loomis books, and I want you to eat them page by page. You understand me? And don't call me back until you've eaten the whole book. Don't eat the book. It's a joke. Andrew Loomis, go on Amazon. Andrew Loomis, change your life. But don't fall for the academic BS where owning a book will change your life. If you own a book, that does very little if you don't execute what's in the book over and over and over. You understand me? Let me call my wife. Hey, honey, are you watching the stream? If you're watching the stream, blink. If you're watching the stream, I don't want to leave the camera and all that. Would you come in here and get this brush from me? It needs to be rinsed. I don't want to let it get all crusty, but I don't want to leave the stream. But I'm switching tools now. So, and if you're not watching the stream, that's fine. I'll watch it later. Can always use hot water. So that was a Winsor Newton, right? It was Winsor Newton Series 7, and I will wash it. Don't cry, Sean, that I'm sticking it back dirty. That was some Higgins Black Magic ink. That's what I used right there. And now, I got dirty fingers. I got to inspect my fingers. And ladies, try to control yourselves when you see these gloves. I know what, listen. I'm a married man. I know what these gloves do to the ladies, but hold on. See? Taken. Sorry. I know you've been waiting. Okay, now let's turn the lights down low. That's right, we turn the lights down low because we're going to trace the face that we already drew. Well, I got to do this hand next. So again, this is the David Williams Trace-O-Matic method, which is brilliant. I love it. David Williams is a genius. So I guess my wife isn't home. She's out spending my money. Am I right? My wife is out spending my money, guys. That's why I need you each to buy 500 copies of the book. My wife is spending my money, and there's nothing I can do about it. Now, actually, my wife. Let's get serious. Guys, let's get serious. I'm tired of messing around. Let's get serious, okay? My wife is actually, I'm very good with money now. I was terrible when I first got married. I was terrible with money. And my wife is supremely good with money. And it's because of the fun story. She came from abject poverty on the Indian reservation. So my wife doesn't waste a penny. So yeah, that's an amazing thing about her. I love inking, guys. It's so relaxing. It's so relaxing. I just love when the pen, I call it swing, when it moves in the exact right contour that you wanted. And I love doing these little double lines where you do a thick line and then a tiny thin line right next to it. I love how grungy and dirty that looks. So you guys thought I was just a big, handsome football guy who was really smart and eloquent and into weightlifting and just being ridiculously offensively handsome. But what you didn't know is that I'm also an art nerd and I love art. I really do. I really love art, and it's a strange thing because I love art as much as you can love something that isn't human. I love it. I love it. I love to look at it. I love to make it. I've always been that way. I don't know why. How to Draw Comics by Dan Lomas. The book that I recommend to all artists is Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. The exercise in there, train your mind to see line, shape, and form. Yes, 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 y'all. I do 40-ounce curls far too often. It's hard to sleep on the streets. Rock cream, no! Angela Curry is now going to include this drawing with his book. I believe so, because I offered it to him for his book. And he said yes. I hope he wasn't just being nice to me. But yes, I believe this will be in his book, or maybe it'll be a pinup or a postcard or a bookmark. I don't know what it is. This belongs to Narwhal. He's paying me for it. I didn't even ask for money. And the kid, that's disrespectful. The man, he is like 35. Just, he has that young, handsome look to him, so I think of him as a kid, and he's really friendly. So I meant no offense, Narwhal. Sorry. I really like the guy. I think he's one of the better comics guys, like, just as far as like personality. And not that I'm saying other ones don't have good personalities. I'm not saying that. Let's not get into drama. But, I think he has a pretty, I think most people would say, the fans too, man, I hope none of this ink is wet because I'm putting my hand down. He's got a great personality. He's a very likable young man. And I told him I would love to do a pinup for him of Nosferatu, because Nosferatu has such a freaking ugly face that's fun to draw. So, but it's ladies' night here at Comicsgate with Slow Jams. We've got a dedication coming in. Felix is telling Irene, baby, take me back. You know I love you. I didn't mean those things I said. Walmart means nothing to me. I'll always be yours. Love always. Felix. I like late night slow jam dedications. I remember hearing them as a middle schooler and always feeling sorry for the people in it. Is there anything worse than a broken heart in romance? I mean, I've been married for 25 years and met my wife in the 10th grade. She did not like me. It's not her fault, though. She wasn't smart enough at the time. She was a silly girl. But now she's a wonderful wife. But yeah, so it's been a long time for me to get dumped, get the old dumperoo. Got dumped in 8th grade by Nikki Friedman. Probably deserved it. I was being whiny. I know, it's embarrassing, but I had to admit it. So Nikki, if you're out there, I just want to apologize for being weird and whiny in 8th grade. I hope you landed on your feet and not your head. This song goes out to Nikki Friedman. If anyone in the chat wants to dedicate a late night slow jam, I'll read it on the air. Angela Curry, I like the music. You love the music. Narwhal might be my favorite Conversational artist. Oh, he's a fantastic artist. And he seems like a stellar human being. I don't know him that well. He could be a really weird, bad dude. But the vibe I get is he's A-okay. And he's the kind of guy I want to be friends with. Slow jam. So they speak low voice and dance incredibly slow, like slower than a tortoise. A redacted computer! Again. Timmy Mello. Love the Nosferatu-inspired Adrian Toomes of the Spider-Man Noir series. I didn't see that. That sounds cool. I could do a slow jam dedication in Espanol. Could I? Mi corazón. Okay. No, I don't speak enough Spanish to do one in. Yeah, I don't speak enough Spanish to do one in Mexican. Just to show off my ignorance of the Spanish language. But if I could do one in Spanish, I definitely would. Oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, it was a great day today. Really fun. We passed $40,000. We passed 600 supporters. So I couldn't be more tickled, guys. Do you guys think that I'm a chuckler or a giggler? Am I like tee when I get tickled? Or am I like ha 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 ha? Like what kind of I mean, I'm asking what kind of laugh I have, but you hear it all the time on the streams, I guess. Come on, you guys, I'm a bit of a giggler. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to giggle. I'll giggle right now. I don't care. That's right. I said it. I will giggle. Sick drawing from William03. Oh, Danka, my friend. Yeah, I'll put the lights back on so you can see. I know it's getting real romantic in here, but what I've done, David Williams taught me this. Do your drawing on crappy like printer paper that's comic book size, and draw it, and then flip it and straighten it out, and flip it and straighten it out, flip it. And by the time you get really good balance, then you can ink it on another sheet of paper. Just tape your paper together, and then you never have to erase pencils. Furthermore, look whose paper it is. That's interesting, guys. Did you know that DC Comics was a part of Comicsgate? They are, because they're supplying the paper for this project. Ain't that interesting? I gotta tell you, I love inking. It's so relaxing. I love slow jams too. Slow jams on Friday night. What if I sent a slow jam dedication like request to someone in Comicsgate? What if I sent it out to a former publisher I worked with? Dear DC Comics, I got your last letter, and I've been thinking about you nonstop since that day. This conflict between Comicsgate and the weirdo SJWs has ruined a lot of things for a lot of people. I'll never forget that last project we worked on together. What I want most is for there to be peace, and for you guys to quit making dog shit comics. Sincerely, always your friend, Gabe Altai. That's my slow jam dedication to DC Comics. So, any other requests, and I'll do them. It's Friday night. It's ladies' night. Slow jams, narrated by Bane, and then narrated by the Joker. Oh, my throat. Wife, if you're out there in the living room watching the show, I require a libation. My wife brings me sandwiches. My wife makes me breakfast and dinner. Did you guys know that? And she works. We both work at home, and I come out into the kitchen. And this amazing woman will have bacon. She'll have chorizo. She'll have all kinds of stuff going. And she loves to feed me. This is so much fun, guys. So much fun. Brightest to Sarah. Don't know who Sarah is. Could be my wife, but no, her name is Adrian. Yo, Adrian. That's my wife. My wife! I don't think she's home. She told me she was going to the store, but I thought I heard her come back. But, you know, I got all kinds of people living here. My son, my daughter, my basset hound Jean, myself, my son, my daughter, my wife. So it could have been anyone that went into the kitchen, because I'm in the garage. As we say in England, the garage. I feel like his skin will be a little speckled for some reason. So I'm just going to put some little textures on his skin for no apparent reason. He's old, crusty, dusty, musty. So I just feel like he would have that on. A little, sort of like a liver spot kind of deals. I don't know. The Dark Knight Joker and Bane from the animators with Gabe. That jacket's totally right. What? Thank you. I want to go buy one now. Yeah, I decided early in this project I was going to give him a wool jacket. Then I started inking. I'm like, why the hell did I make it a wool jacket? And I got to ink all this wool. And then it was relaxing fun. So take that, Gabe. You were wrong about that. What else are you lying about? I'm not a great liar. I don't lie. I can't lie to myself. Like, I can't bullshit myself that I believe something I don't believe. I've always been that way since I was a kid. And I wish I could. I see a lot of people live in delusions. And they're happy as a clam. No, actually, I don't wish I could. No, living in a lie. I mean, think about it. To get serious again, it's why I left DC. I just couldn't live a lie there where I was like, yeah, I'm going to make SJW comics. I'm going to feel fine about myself. I just couldn't do it, guys. Could not do it. Hey, I could talk in an East LA accent for you guys, huh? I like slow jam game better, you know. Send a romantic dedication out to someone. Dearest wife. Put out those letters on PBS for the Civil War guys. The letters they would send their wives. We've almost made it to Williamsburg. Supplies are running low with the food and the ammunition. It's cold. Tell Helen and Matthew their father loves them. And that was my terrible, terrible impersonation of Ken Burns' Civil War. Sadio Holmes, nice sketch of Count Orlok. How dare you? It's not a sketch, it's an inked illustration. How dare you? Let's move in here. So I get number 2 out. A 12. Turn the lights down low. Oh yeah. Getting sexy now. There we go. Turn her on. Because what I've done here is I've drawn it on another sheet of paper. I already drew it on another sheet of paper. And now I will trace my own work. Yes, I'll trace my own work. And then get them to pay me for it. That's the only kind of work as a professional that you can trace and get away with is your own. What about that guy on The Simpsons that's the mafia boss? I can talk in that guy's voice for some reason. I do not know. Is he supposed to be an impersonation of someone, the mafia guy on The Simpsons? Or is that just a choice? Slow jam narrated by Jose from the barrio after chugging 4 Red Bulls and a shot of pure alcohol. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir. Keep that away from me. I don't know. There's just something about making art on a Friday night. For you guys. For my boy Narwhal. Pour one out for my homie Narwhal. I think it was my launch stream for Truth, Justice, America where I told him I'd do this. So it's about 3 weeks late. Well, we never set a deadline. In my defense, there was no deadline. Mr. Orlok, you're quite ugly. It's not good for you. You thought about doing something about these teeth, Mr. Orlok. No, I don't mean it personally. I love inking, guys. It's fun. When you're in the zone like this, and it's all coming up Millhouse. Super steady hands. That was his weakness. Shaky hands. Willem 03, you will get steady hands through practice. All you're looking at is someone who's been doing this for the better part of 40 years. I'm only 43, but I began illustrating, I don't remember when. I've always loved to draw. I've been obsessed with drawing since I was a little boy. And I was never actually little. I've always been big for my age. I like to talk to the paper a little bit too. If you guys have to excuse me. You like that? You like it when I ink it slow? Guys, that was dirty. I shouldn't talk that way on here. What the hell am I doing? My goodness, sorry. Sorry, kids. Cover your ears. Hey, I resemble that comment Rockin says. He's got a face only a mother could love. Yeah, I'm not going to talk sexy to the paper anymore. That creeps me out. That was gross. It was funny as hell, though. This is how I get wild on a Friday, guys. You're seeing it. I don't know where my wife is. I want to know how much money she's spending at the store. I'm concerned. The Count made the mistake of falling in love with a married woman. Well, that was stupid. Or did she lead him on? I mean, who's really to blame here? You know, did she lead on our good, trustworthy friend Orlok? Did she make his ugly ass think he had a chance in hell? because he's an ugly dude. You know, he's an ugly mofo. I don't know if she was a mother. Wholesome Wild Friday Night. Gabe, have you seen the Oozinator commercial? I don't know who at the Super Soaker Company thought it'd be okay. No, I have not seen that. But from the name, I have an inkling of what they're getting at there. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I told you guys, as far as dirty humor, I'm for it in private. Like if it's me and my older brother and the boys, the guys I grew up with on the street, cool. Being filthy in public like makes me feel bad. It makes me feel bad about it. I feel very guilty. I don't like being filthy in public. I get that it's funny. It's just not my style. So and I don't judge you if you do it. Whatever. It's your life. It's now or never. Are those the lyrics to that song? I feel like I got that wrong just now. No, it's your life. If you want to tell dirty jokes all day, but it's not my style. But it was funny to talk sexy to the paper. It was funny, but it was too over the top. Inking is so much fun. Bon Jovi. Wait, so the donkey is ugly. What are we talking about? I think there's alcohol going on. with the redacted computer. I think he's imbibed spirits, guys. Hard spirits, whiskey, bourbon, rum. I don't drink. And here's what I'll say. I'm not saying I'm better than you. Don't ever think that. I'm not saying that. I'm better than you. I don't drink. I don't drink because I used to drink, and I will leave it at that. You feel me? It isn't for me. Some people, they drink and they have very, very normal lives. It's not for me. I'll just put it that way, drinking. It's not what I want to do with my life. So. Rock Crane is imbibing. Well, enjoy, friend. Have one for me. If you're of age. If you're not of age, I'm going to tell your parents you're drinking. I will find out. I have ways to find out. And as always, no drinking and driving, friends. Late night slow jams is always safe. We always call an Uber, or we have a designated driver. Do not drink and drive. That is horrible, and there's no excuse for it in this day and age of smartphones that will get you where you need to be. I told my kids that early on. I don't want you drinking, but if you do, call me and I will pick you up. Because I'd rather be mad at you than drinking than something, God forbid, terrible happens if you're out. You feel me? And that is my parenting advice right there. I say, you're underage, you are not allowed to drink. If it somehow happens, you will call me. And we'll talk about it afterwards. But don't do the dumb shit. I'm sorry, some people do. We're like, well, I don't want to get caught, so I'll just try and drive drunk home. And then tragedy can strike, right? Let's get serious for a minute here. It'll always be better to have your parents be angry at you than to go to prison at 19 because you killed someone drunk driving. So please, if you're going to party tonight, make it safe, make it fun. You know what I mean? Keep it, no punches below the belt. Protect yourself at all times. And I do apologize for talking sexy to this drawing. Oh my goodness, that was funny. Angela Curry, I just put my elbow on the funny bone on the table. That was electricity. I've been only drunk twice and I made them count. Oh, wow. William 03, don't catch a DUI, friends. It will set you back big time. My uncle, fabulously wealthy, rest in peace. Uncle Dave died in 2008, but he was a very wealthy man. He did a lot of DUIs. He was a lawyer and he defended a lot of people who thought they could just get home drunk. And they got home eventually, but they went to the hooskow first. That's like Dutch, I think, for police station. And I think in California, I could be wrong. I'm not a lawyer. Do not take my advice legally. I think if you get a DUI here in California, I think it's like a minimum $10,000 fine and you lose your license for a year. You know? So you don't want that. You don't want to hurt somebody. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to let your family down. You don't want to let Count Orlok down. What about Sir Mix-a-Lot? Nobody thinks of him. How would he feel? Huh? I had to get real quiet there because I was getting real awesome, serious things. I love the shit out of rendering with lines when I ink. I love it, guys. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I love just what just happened with my pen. That was magic. When you start bending the inks and you start making a contour and it works out exactly as you planned it in your mind, holy cow, that's fun. That was awesome. Isn't that nerdy to like nerd out that I like laid down like 15 lines and they were like perfectly where I wanted them? It's so satisfying though. I am a line guy. Some people use big like abstract shapes and negative spaces, and I like that. But I love lines and textures, and they do take more time. And neither way is the right way or the wrong way. Like whatever comes naturally to you, whatever feels good. Don't draw for expectation. Don't go, oh, Gabe said line, so I'm gonna draw a line to impress Gabe. Forget that. Forget that. Draw what you like to draw the way you like to draw it, and it's just gonna come out bad. And look how great this looks. Wow. I love being able to create value with line. The value is lightness and darkness. I love being able to create these gray tones with line, you know? It's so satisfying. That's why I was talking slow and sexy with this drawing. I'll give you one more. You like my inky slow, baby? Yeah. Let me get that ink all right there. Yeah, that's where we want the ink. That is filthy, I'm sorry. It's Friday night, guys. There are no rules. We getting wild. We wilding out. Little wispy lines on these nostrils to make them a little darker. But we don't want to overdo it on the line, because if we overdo it, we will destroy it. You'll break the drawing. You will. Yeah, if we overdo it, we'll break it. So, okay, we're done with the line texture. Now we'll just do a little bit of like schmutz on him. Like I feel like he has flecks on him for some reason. Like he's old and dusty and scaly. And then he has those weird ass, let me turn on my tracing thing. Where did I put those eyes? William 3. Show. He's talking about the breathalyzer and all that stuff. I don't know. Message is held for review. Show. I'm going to ink all over you. Whoa, 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 William 03. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Well, one of the keys to make a character look crazy is don't let the colored part of their eye touch the top or the bottom. Your pupil, your iris, don't let it touch the eyelashes and the eyelid. Don't let that touch, and it makes the eyes look crazier. So I'm not letting him touch that. There's a little bit of white in between there. I think that's a Count Orlok, guys. Oh, I didn't even render the buttons. Right? I want these to be a little more bold with these teeth. Okay, this needs to be a little bit bigger so his eyes look the same. Okay, I'm gonna give him like a hair or two sticking up on his head. There we go. Okay, so we got that. That's looking smoking. I love it. Now I'm going to be very happy. Now I'm going to render these buttons. Button. Who got the button? Where's the ocho? No, that's a doce. Not 12, it's a 2. Dos. Where's the ocho? 3. Aha! You tried to hide from me, but you did not get away. The smaller the people's iris, the crazier the look. Adam Miller says he's seen in his girlfriend's eyes. One! Just kidding. Senpaku eyes, the Japanese call it. I don't like the sound of that. Okay, so we got to put a little shiny on these buttons. So the dark on the bottom half will be dark, but since they're metallic, they also have a reflected light coming up. So it'll be like a crescent, like a moon shape. And they won't all be the same. I'll keep it loose because you want to think of metal a little bit like water because obviously it's shiny. It's not like water that it's flowing, but water and metal, they shine for the same reason because the electrons are moving around so much. The valences of the electrons are shared. That's why metal and water conduct electricity so well, and they share that same thing with their luster. Luster would be the way that texture gives off light on a given object. You didn't know how brilliant I was when it came to the luster of different materials, did you? What do you have to do? So tell all your friends. We're just rendering down these buttons, making them all nice and shiny. You don't want any two buttons to look identical because then it looks mechanical. It looks like you push the button in Photoshop. And we never want the drawing to look that way unless that was the job or the assignment. And there could be, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there could be a job that called for that for whatever reason. Stepping on a random Lego brick causes pain and discomfort. That's never happened to me. I've stepped on Legos that didn't hurt. Another one that a lot of you guys complain about that doesn't bother me is Captain Crunch does not tear up the roof of my mouth. I don't know what's going on with you people where it hurts you all. I will give Captain Crunch eating lessons. And I am mad that the berries change colors. As a kid, I loved the pink berries. Now they have blue and green and purple and pink. And I feel like they just, SJWs ruined something again. No, but I know it tastes the same, the berries. What is your favorite cereal? And why is it Captain Crunch or Lucky Charms? Those are the greatest breakfast cereals. You shouldn't eat this crap because it's just sugar and it's really bad for everyone. Excuse me. Oh, I burped again. How rude. I'm very, very sorry. I'm not even kidding right now. I shouldn't burp on stream. That was rude. Please forgive me. That snuck up on me. Gabe's mouth is made of glass. Confirmed. No, my mouth is made of healthy bones and muscles and fats and everything it's supposed to be made of. Perfect health, wonderful teeth. Let's see. I think we're done. I'm going to go in with a white pen now and just give it a little sploochy splotch here and there. That's the thing. Again, when you go get your master's in art, they'll teach you these terms. Sploochy splotch, things like that. I think we good. I think we Gucci, as the kids say. So now, the final thing. The Jelly Roll 10 from Japan, Sakura. That's what it says on there. Sakura. And I also have este estilo. Let me shake them out. These are white. Sorry, I'm drawing it on the sheet of paper. So I want to get some of that woolly texture around. So I don't like this pen. I don't like this one. It's more crusty. I'll have to wash the tip of that with hot water. But my jelly roller, that's my Mexican accent. And I can make that joke because I'm Mexican, but you can also make that joke even if you're not because it's funny. And political correctness is the death of comedy. So I encourage all my friends, even if you're not Mexican, I know you're doing it right now too because you're home alone and you're not worried about getting canceled. Go ahead, say jelly roller. That's okay. I have relatives that actually speak that way. So go ahead. I encourage you all to say jelly roller instead of jelly roller. I know you're saying it. I know you're all saying it. Accents are funny, and they're not racist. They're funny. And people with accents, that would be me, because I try to speak Spanish, and guess what? I have an accent, and guess what? It sounds funny to Spanish-speaking people, and that's okay. I'm not a snowflake. Oh, I forgot the seam on the jacket that I had drawn. The seam, guys. I'm going to just make it like also just copy this woolly texture we had and get the seam in here with my jelly roller. And I encourage you all to say jelly roller as much as you can. that's fun, guys. This is fun. This is the way it's supposed to be. Just pure art, guys. No expectation. No idiot SJW editors telling you to make it fake inclusive for some stupid reason. Oh, and then I needed a negative space line for these nails here. Right, because when I outlined them, I ate up their shape. So you see what I'll do right here? I'll come in and put some white next to those nails, and then that'll pop them into 3D. Yeah, boy. And I painted myself into a corner here because I got to get this one without touching those wet ones. It'll come up this way. Now all that's left to do is sign this mother trucker, and we Gucci. We done. Let's just put another speckle here and there. Actually, we got to put some more speckles on this thing of the wool texture, the woolen texture. Oh, yes. So if you haven't checked out Truth, Justice, and American Way, let me pitch it to you. Don't click the link right now to go look at it. You're going to click the link after you hear this pitch because you're going to want to buy it. But not yet. Hold on. Let me pitch it to you first. Truth, Justice, and American Way are the world's most beloved heroes. It is a love affair like no other between the public and celebrities. Kids everywhere are wearing the t-shirt, eating the cereal, watching the cartoon, playing with the action figures. Truth, Justice, and American Way are on all the late night talk shows, making everyone laugh and scream with delight. One day, the worst happens. Many lives are lost. It's an absolute devastating tragedy. Cuts right to the heart of society. And in the fallout from that, we all know how the news and social media and all that works. In the fallout from that, the news starts questioning Truth, Justice, and American Way. Our plucky heroes, you see at the bottom of the page there, they start saying, did they do enough in that disaster to save lives? Did they? Because it sure doesn't look like it. It looks like they were just enjoying being celebrity heroes. And it may have cost lives. And when we look into their past, other events, other tragedies, other attacks, it just seems like these people are obsessed with the press and being famous. And like that, social media, news, everyone turns on them. They go from being the most beloved people on earth to absolute pariahs. The government who sponsors them turns on them. The military's after them. Their friends won't talk to them. Their bank accounts are frozen. They have to run from their publicly known base. Their base, everyone knows where their base is, their headquarters. They have to go underground, guys. They have to rely on their strength of character, on their traditions, everything inside their heart that they've been taught. They have to rely on that to solve this mystery of who really did this attack and why. Can they even trust each other when they're on the run trying to figure this out? Can they trust each other long enough to solve this? Because if they don't, a much worse disaster is coming, and this time it'll cost millions of lives. That is what Truth, Justice, American Way, the first volume, is all about. You will absolutely love this comic book. When you look at SJW nonsense, and you know what they took from you, you know what they took from me, you know what they took from all of us, I'm giving it back to you. I'm giving you back exactly what you want, guys, in comics and adventure and all that. And you will notice in my synopsis, I don't mention politics, feminism, left wing, right wing. That's not in my book. I'm not preaching to you from any side. Preaching is, look, it's boring. What I'm doing is giving you thrills, chills, spills, and anything else that rhymes with fun stuff like that. I'm giving it back to you what they took away. And it's my pleasure to do it because I want it back. So please, the link is in the chat. The link is in the description. It's probably in a bunch of other places. We had a great day today. We passed 600 backers. We passed $40,000. I would love it if you guys would jump in there and contribute and get this book. I'm going to sign this drawing, and then I'm going to sign off, guys. ELTAEB 2022. All right, guys, that's enough of this for tonight. I streamed this afternoon. I streamed this evening. Count Warlock looks badass. Take these gloves off. And I will talk to you cats later.